Hello, guys. So today I'm going to talk about a question someone has asked me, which is that whether networking matters in the field of finance. If you want to make a career in the field of finance, how important it is to have a good network. Well, in any career nowadays, you need to have a strong network, and therefore it's important that you have a strong network, and finance is no exception to that. In fact, I would say that in finance it matters more than in other careers. Finance is one such career where you really need to know people. The entry barrier is actually quite high in finance. Not everybody can find a job in finance. So it's always good to know people who are in finance so that if you need a job, you can always call them, message them, email them, right? So having a network is super important in the field of finance. But what is a network, right? It's very important to know, right? It's not just about how many people are following you, how many people connections on LinkedIn. That's obviously one type of building a network. But when we say network, professional network, that is a lot more than the connections on LinkedIn. At least that's my view, right? A lot of the people who you connect with on LinkedIn, you probably don't know them and they don't know you. So in times of need, when you need a job, you want them to refer you in the organization, they probably won't do that because they simply don't know you, right? So that's definitely some sort of network, but network is more than that. Network, to me, I think the most important network is the people that you have worked with in the past, the people that you know from your university, colleges, and so on, or the people that you know from the conferences or the meetups, or the clients that you have worked with. Yeah, so I think that is a more close network, and people who know you, I think they are the one who will help you in times of need. But people who are just following you on LinkedIn or following you on YouTube, like many people follow me on YouTube, but I don't think they know me a lot. I don't think I can reach out to them if I need something from them, right? Obviously, maybe some people will help, but it's not something I rely on. However, if I have something to discuss, I rather reach out to my friends. From the industry, people who have worked in the past, former colleagues, the juniors and seniors from my university who are in this field and so on. So it's absolutely important to know people in the industry. And by the way, I'm not discouraging you to be more active on LinkedIn. I see this as a trend that more and more uh, young people are very active on LinkedIn. When I started career, for first 10 years, I started in 2008. I think until 2017, 18, until Microsoft took over, LinkedIn wasn't that popular. At least not in India, certainly. I think not in most part of the world. It wasn't that popular until 2016 or something. It became more of a social network later on, but it wasn't that of a thing back then. And people would hardly use LinkedIn. But now I see more and more people using LinkedIn and active there, posting over there. Go and do that. There's nothing wrong with that. But make sure that you have close connections as well. Make sure that also invest in building a network which is very close. People who you can talk to in times of need. People whose contact details are with you, right? You know their numbers, we know their email ID. You can reach out to them in times of need, and that's important. You can also get that sort of network from LinkedIn as well, but that probably will take a bit of a time, right? I'm not saying that you can never build a network with just strangers, people you haven't worked with directly. It's definitely possible. Obviously, it takes time, probably takes longer time, and you need to really invest time and effort towards that. I know some people from LinkedIn who I interact with on a regular basis. I've never worked with them, but there are a couple of people, some from India, some from Europe, some from the US. Not a lot, but about 10 to 15 people. And these are people who I can reach out to. I also know many recruiters. There are many people who have reached out to me in the past for jobs. And every time I talk to them, I always make sure that I keep their numbers. I add them on my LinkedIn, so that if I need a job or if I have to talk to them regarding someone, right? Sometimes some of my friends also reach out to me for jobs, so I refer them to these sort of people. So I keep in touch with them. At least know a couple of good recruiters here in Europe. When I used to be in India, I also had a decent network of recruiters. So make sure that you know at least 10 to 15 people in your field who hire headhunters. Okay, and in the field of finance is super important simply because this is such an area where you simply can't enter easily from outside, right? You need to know someone, especially at a mid career level. At a junior level, it is relatively easier, but at a mid career level, it is a bit more difficult. So, knowing people really helps a lot, right? If you attend meetups and if you attend conferences or if you attend courses together with other people, I think you also build a network. In fact, one of the best things about attending a conference or attending a meetup is not just about listening to those boring presentations. It's also about learning from people who are attending those conferences or meetups. I was once in a conference in India where the presentation was not that interesting. They were okay, but they were not that interesting. But I had a chance to meet top bankers from the public sector in India. Like some of the top people from the public sector had come there, and I really had a chance to talk to them, and that was really amazing. Even the top guys from RBI were there. Top guys from many top private banks were also there, foreign banks as well, and that was really interesting, right? So you learn a lot from that, and you build a network as well. I mean, it's not always to keep in touch with those people after having spent let's say 3 4 days with them, but if you really put in effort and invest in reaching out to them, I think that really will help you in future as well. So, long answer to the short question, in finance, it's absolutely important to build a good network like in any other career, but definitely in a field like finance. Thanks, guys. For any other questions, let me know in the comment section. As always, thanks for watching.